and welcome to the video podcast. I'm Krulsawat with Simply Vegas, your Las Vegas realtor, connecting you to the Las Vegas housing market, where we talk about real estate and financing, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I got my man, the co-host, Dan French himself. What's going on, my brother?
What? What's going on?
Oh my gosh. This is not good right now. Let me tell you guys, there's something that is going on, and this feels like deja vu. Because Dan, last week, this is so weird, and correct me if I'm wrong here, for some apparent reason, didn't you wear that outfit last week?
Yes, but this is my favorite Lucky Wednesday jacket. And
Yes.
so it's kind of like getting a green jacket when you play golf. I'm going to start wearing this every Wednesday.
And
How many applications did you get today?
Let me take a look. I got 6, and I'm hoping to do 3 more. And please, if you haven't put your application in today, do it so now. Vegas Loan Guru.
And the strangest thing is that last week I was also wearing the same shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That is weird.
That is so weird.
So basically what this is actually a pre-recording. And the reason why we are doing this is because that's right, guys. I am still in Hawaii. Chakits, bring it right to us. What's up, everybody? That's right. I'm still in Hawaii. So right back of me, as you can see, we have the Pacific Ocean. I got the family down here at the pool. We are staying here at the Royal Kona Resort here in Hilo. So next week, guys, I will be back in Vegas for another live video podcast. So I can't wait. Other than that, guys, stay blessed. All right. Thank you, Chakits. I appreciate that. Now, back to our show. What's going on, Joey?
Chilling, baby.
Chilling.
Well, I'm trying to chill.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, you darted across the valley today, right? What were you doing out there?
Just delivering some keys.
Oh, so you just closed the deal.
Close the deal.
Look at that.
Great way to start off the week.
Deliver them keys.
Yeah, delivering them keys.
I like it.
On one of your listings, right?
Yeah. It was actually the one of the pocket listings
Okay.
that we videoed.
You know what's so funny? Some of the people were criticizing, like, dang, I'll sell that. I think you sold it for above asking, right?
I did. Yeah, 10,000 above asking.
Suckers. Dang.
Man, everybody's just making money, man.
I know.
Hand over fist.
Hey, listings,
Yeah.
it's like money in the bank.
Dude.
Telling you. It's like you get a listing, I'm telling you. It's just depending on how far you want to go. If the seller's not really like, they got to get out of the house right then, you could pretty much do a waiting game, right? And see who's going to really give the best offer.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're coming in quick. I have I listed 3 properties the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got I double-ended all 3.
Oh, my God.
Double representation.
Dang, you're going to kill it this month.
Kill it.
Dude,
you double-ended all 3?
All 3.
you know what that means, right?
Wow.
He's going to have to pay off his house because he's about to close. When are you closing on your home?
On the 16th.
That's around the
I
corner.
know.
It's coming quick.
He was telling me
quick.
earlier today he bought some furniture. It was like $12,000 just for the couch. That's
You
like
bought some $12,000.
Yeah, that's right.
How many kids do you have?
Huh? 2?
Do you have dogs? And
I have one dog, little dog thing.
You better put a fencer on that thing.
Dude, Restoration Hardware ain't cheap.
Dude, the most I ever spent on furniture, to be honest, is probably like $4,000.
You spent $4,000,
and that's with everything, not just one.
well,
No, I'll tell you what. If you walk into Restoration Hardware,
Yeah.
you fall in love with everything.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's just sick.
where's that at?
Well, they have a location in Summerlin.
Okay.
In Tivoli Village. Mm-hmm. Big, beautiful.
Are you
store.
a Summerlin person?
No, he doesn't live in
Yeah, I
Summerlin.
live in Henderson, but I
Are you a Summerlin
Yeah.
person? Like
I
you
go
like
there a lot.
Summerlin? You go there a lot?
I like the restaurants, the shops, Tivoli Village.
What do you like better, Inspirata or Summerlin?
I like Inspirata to live, but I like the shops and restaurants in Summerlin better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you find the people and the taste are different?
Yes.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
bougie dude. He's like, yeah.
You want to know what's crazy? Is like
Yeah, but I like to live off the beaten path. I don't like to
Okay.
live in the thick of it. Like I've noticed, I don't know the last time you were in Summerlin, but it gets super congested over there.
Yeah.
Like right off of Charleston, Rampart,
the
that whole
215,
area.
yeah.
Yeah, it gets super congested. I like living in Inspirata because it's more spread out. You can move around. You can go with the kids. It's a lot safer for me.
Yeah, this past weekend, we went bowling over there at Red Rock Casino.
yeah.
Actually, they have a very nice bowling alley. I was
Do they
very
really?
surprised, yeah. And the casino is very nice. I think the last time I've been down there was probably like 3-4 years ago.
Right.
But it's actually a pretty nice casino.
Yeah. Have you ever hung out by the pool over there?
No?
It's really nice.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Me and my family, we always like to go eat at the downtown Summerlin. There's, they have some nice restaurants over
It's
there.
expensive though, isn't it?
No,
it's fairly priced. I mean, you got California Pizza Kitchen. We always go there to eat for lunch. But there's another place. I think it's called like Publix or something.
Public school.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good.
It's good, yeah.
But we like to go when the weather's great because we like to sit outside.
Yep.
But right now, man, you can't go. It's just way too hot, dude. Talking about the heat, does that affect sales right now, Joey?
I haven't seen it slow down.
I know, that's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I think it affects though people that are willing to come here and like look around, right? They don't want to go to open houses. You're not going to drive with them.
Yeah, you're not going to see people pounding pavement right now.
No.
I mean, it's all destination. I do have to say, last year though, I had some clients come in from California, and it was a whole family. The kids wanted to buy, the grandparents were going to move. They wanted the house with the casita. They came out here. We toured like 4 homes, and the grandparents pulled the plug. They were like, "We ain't doing it."
You ain't doing it.
It was like 111 degrees outside. They were like, "We're going back to Cali."
They must have lived on the coastal line. That's why.
Yeah.
Somewhere near there.
Has to.
With that breeze. I mean, it does get pretty hot here, but the good news about the heat out here, it's actually a dry heat. And we talked about this on our last show where I'm currently in Hawaii right now, chilling. That's right. Let's see a clip right now. All right, now we're back.
I saw the water.
So, you seen the water? You like that, right? So we talked about this where Hawaii, this time of year, it gets so humid, right? Joey's from Florida, and he can contest to this, the humidity.
Yeah.
Right? Would you say the dry heat's a lot better than the humidity?
100%.
Right.
Absolutely. That's why I haven't moved back.
But is that the only reason you didn't move back? It's like, because I know the humidity is a problem, but is Vegas just a better place to live?
It's definitely a better place to raise your family.
Yeah.
I mean, where I was living,
Cost of living?
Cost of living is much less. It's safer.
Yeah.
When you're getting to that metropolitan area of Miami, I mean, it's super congested.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and it's growing so quickly, and everything's condo down there. If you want to live on the beach, you want to live in downtown, everything's condo. That's pretty much where you want to live. You don't want to live any further west because the drive time is just to drive. It's like California. You're on that highway to go 5 miles. It's going to take you 45 minutes to an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
95 backs up. I mean, it's crazy.
So if somebody wanted to move to Florida, I mean, you got like Miami and you got all these other places, right? And this is what I've seen on TV. I've never been out there. If I wanted to go out there, and I said, Joey, send me to a place that's like, cool, where's the best city to go?
To do what?
You know what? No, I'm just kidding.
So
I mean, just to go have fun and experience Florida for what it really is. Like, where do you go?
Orlando, you have the theme parks.
Yeah.
All right. So you have Busch Gardens, you have Islands of Adventure, Disney, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
if you want to go to the theme parks, you go to Orlando.
Sure.
If you want to just chill and get some really nice beaches, beautiful
Yeah.
scenery, you can go down to Palm Beach. Boca is really, really nice. Skip over, Boynton Beach, you get into Del Rey, and then you just go down to Miami.
So basically, it's like almost like a coastline that you just
Yeah,
drive
that's
down.
it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Gulf Coast, the west coast of Florida on the Gulf has some beautiful scenery as well.
So talking about scenery, what scenery do we have here in Las Vegas, Joey?
Dude, I'll tell you what. I was just at Lee Canyon yesterday.
Yeah.
Took my family on a hike over there.
Yeah.
So Lee Canyon, I don't know if you've been up there lately, but they renovated that entire area. So they have a really nice ski lodge up there. Just some cool activities in the summertime, but it's beautiful hiking.
Yeah.
So you have a 6-mile loop that goes all the way around. But yesterday it was 111, 112 degrees down here in the valley. It was
up there?
it was 74 degrees up there.
Really?
Yeah, so when you're up there, I mean, breeze is really nice. You're at that high altitude, the air is nice and crisp, but beautiful scenery, mountains, green, right? And then you can sit down, you can have some lunch, beer. You could take the ski lift for a scenic loop.
Now, you talked about you guys went hiking, right, with the kids yesterday?
Yeah.
Were they able to handle the hike?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really intense.
Okay.
It's not. You don't have like a huge gradient. It's a real nice trail that goes all the way around.
Oh, that's good. And after you guys had lunch down at the lodge, right? Oh, maybe you should check that out, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Was
It's
it
nice,
pretty
it's nice to
pricey?
break away from the heat.
Yeah. Was it
No.
pretty pricey?
No.
See, look, we got some things to do here in Vegas.
Yeah, and it's not always strip,
Yeah.
especially with the holiday weekend that we had. So, you know what I mean?
So this 4th of July, there was a girl from California. I think she was like only 26. She played some poker or something like that. She hit like 1.5 million.
No kidding.
Wow.
Dude, imagine that, coming up here and hit 1.5 million. Came up here 4th of July to party. What are you gonna do with that kind of money?
Dang.
One time, boom.
Well,
Let me cold call her. You got her number?
you looking for a
You
house?
sell her house.
Also, as I was looking on the paper today, also I noticed yesterday somebody just hit $500,000 as well. Seems like these machines are just like hitting left and right, man.
Are they doing that though to entice people to come play?
Oh, absolutely.
You think it's actually rigged? That's a question.
Yeah, they probably loosen the machines up a little bit.
Oh,
The
really?
machines are all on a chip. So really it depends on whatever machine you sit at. They have it programmed differently. This is just a random luck. That's all it is. But they do want people to hit because it's like, hey, you know what?
Drive more people to here?
Yeah, it's just because think about it too. The economy's just coming back. You know what I mean? This is probably the first weekend that everybody just went go crazy. I mean, I saw more fireworks than I ever saw, I think, on this 4th of July because everybody was just celebrating.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys haven't had a chance to visit lvhomeexperts.com, check out lvhomeexperts.com. And it's a great website to get started, especially on your home search. That's right, lvhomeexperts.com. So today I want to get into the housing market. Give us a little insight of what's really going on right now, Joey.
Well, I don't think the sentiment's really changed much. We're still seeing a shortage of inventory. We're still seeing prices increasing. I have clients that, we luck out, we get property, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 above list price.
Yeah.
And then I have other clients that were $10,000, $15,000 above list price and we're not getting them.
Wow.
I'm actually working with a client right now that we've been submitting. We probably submit, I want to say about 15 offers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we cannot, it's the price point.
Okay.
That $400,000 price point is very, very
Everybody
tough.
wants it.
Everybody wants it. You can qualify for it. It's like, it's at that sweet spot.
And we talked about this on the last show with David, right? At that price point. Now, you mentioned that the 5,000 versus the 15,000. What price point is that? So the 5,000, is that at the 400,000 range as well?
Yes.
And the 15,000, is that also at the 400,000 range, or is that on a higher price point?
You're getting up a little bit higher.
Okay.
Yeah. I think when you get up in that higher price point, people have a little bit more liquid and they're able to throw it down. But, closed the $1 million property a few days ago. We were $25,000 above list price. I got the other offer on my listing that was $33,000 above list price, and that was listed at $425,000. Deal didn't go through, but now I'm $10,000 above. So it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
So it's kind of a hit and a miss. So it's not the same story for every transaction.
So when you do you even do comps? Like you do them, but I mean, is it really necessary at this point? Like, hey, I think everything's averaging here, or is it really just like, guess what? This is what I think it is, but we all know you're driving the market, so.
Yeah. It is. It's basically what can you afford? How aggressive do you want to be?
There's no point in having.
How much more are you going to pay over the appraised value? You never want to overpay for a property and put yourself in a tough financial position. But at the same time, if you're in a position where you actually really need that house, you need to be as aggressive as you possibly can.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that any buyer that you're working with probably has to come up cash, above appraisal.
Yeah.
If they don't have money, you're probably not working with them. Is that correct?
No. I work with everybody because every situation is different.
Yeah.
Every house is different. Some houses stay in the market longer.
Yeah.
Some fall out of escrow, and you can get an opportunity. You just have to be aggressive. You have to be on it, and you have to understand what you're walking into.
Okay. So what happens if somebody does come to you at that 400 range, but has enough just to pay their own closing costs? How do you actually get them into escrow, and what is that expectation do you set up front for that buyer?
Well, if their budget's $400,000 and they can only afford to put down their closing costs and they don't have any extra wiggle room, we can't look at $400,000. We need to look at something that's like around $370,000, $375,000, something that's going to give them a little bit extra cash in their pocket. Okay,
so if they can go $375,000 and let's just say they're only putting down 10%, I mean, that really only frees up like $3,700 more to put down above the appraised value. Is that even worth it when you're saying that you're submitting offers like $5,000 and still getting rejected?
Listen, I mean, you have to play the game. If you're only finding properties that you like within that price range, and that's all you have to work with, we can, if it's an HOA, we can maybe pay the HOA demands, right? The transfer fees, a portion of the seller's closing costs. So there's different ways that we can allocate that $3,700, not necessarily just over appraised value.
So it sounds like one of the things that is most important you're telling me is how to write up a clean offer. That offer has to be clean.
Very clean. Yeah, we can't ask for things. And, you know, even if you always have the right to inspect the property.
Yeah.
Right? We always get an inspection on every property. We review it. But if there's normal wear and tear, don't ask for it. You know, I mean, if the water heat is blown out, you know, if there's something that's, you know, going to be catastrophic to the house, you know, you don't want to buy a money pit, right? Have an issue as soon as you close. But if there's, you know, maybe a little stucco damage, there's drywall damage, or there's something that's easily fixed after you close, you know, don't ask the seller for it.
Now, what happens if one of your buyers are paying $15,000 above the appraised value? Then you have some things like that. Your buyer's asking for those things to be fixed. Do you coach them to say, no, don't ask? Or do you,
we review it together, the inspection report, and I say, listen, give me your top 3 or 4 items that you need to have. They are must-haves that to be fixed, right? And obviously we identify the most important ones, and then we'll ask for them. But again,
then you talk them out right out of it.
but you can't ask for little things. When you're competing with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 other people who will gladly take it without any repairs. You know, you just have to think of the bigger picture here.
Well, does the seller push back at that point, though?
That's what I'm saying, because if I'm paying if I'm getting 15 grand over, and you're asking to fix these little things, I may just say I'll fix it, or you know, I'll just give you 2 grand. Just get out of here. You're still making the money, right? Because you don't want to lose a deal. So now, is the sellers? Are you seeing the sellers are retracting from that and just basically saying, look, you take it as is?
Yeah, I mean, every seller is different. I have some that are like that will fix everything, keep the house, you know, professionally clean and sanitized before they turn the keys over. And I have a client, you know, that just won't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Won't do anything. Don't even come at me with a request. Like, we're not doing it.
But you throwing it back on the market.
You feel that out before you get into that point, right? You could kind of gauge with what the seller's willing and not willing to do, depending on how the selling agent's responding. Is that not right? Like, you call the selling agent and you're like, hey, man, how flexible are these people? Or are they willing to do things? Or, you know what I mean? Obviously, if you're kind of feeling it out and they're like, nope, you're probably not going to get what those things fixed anyways. I don't see somebody, they would probably be okay to just say, you know what, we're backing out of the deal and put it back on the market, or just take the next offer that was there if you're trying to go too far on asking for things, right?
Yeah, and you have to, if I'm representing the seller and I'm having this conversation, they're saying no, I'm going to say, hey, look, you know, if this is really an issue, it's going to become an issue with the next buyer and the buyer after that and the buyer after that. So that at some point, just fix the big items and have a smooth transaction, you know? So it just really depends on which side you're on and how you're going to handle it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You always have to check the temperature, see who's on the other side of the deal, see their personality.
You got to coach them too. Like, I think it's like, you can't tell your buyer to say, hey, you know what? You come into this, like you're saying, I don't know, like, it's almost like this. The listing agent and the person selling the house know that it's their world right now. So you're walking into their world a little bit. And I hate to say it, but you got to kind of feel out what they're willing to do. And I don't know, I just think that in this market, it's a seller's market. It's easy to walk away.
Yeah.
Well, they don't lose anything, right?
Right.
I mean, think about it. But I mean, you'd be dumb to lose a deal because of certain little items.
Yeah. And time is money.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Anything can happen.
Especially if they got a mortgage on it.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And a lot of these sellers are looking to get out because they're either moving out of state or they're moving into a new build. So they're on a time crunch as well, you know? So, you know, it's case by case.
Now, are you seeing more sellers moving out of state? Is that what you're saying? Or are they scaling up? What would you say?
Scaling down.
Oh, scaling down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Empty nesters.
I wonder why they're doing that.
Coming out of California, moving here, getting something smaller.
Paying cash, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which makes sense. And we talked about this our last show where, you know, the average household income in California, certain parts, could hit up to $125,000, right? Versus here, $51,000. So, I mean, all that money that they're making, especially the equity in their home, selling those coming out here, same situation. People in Hawaii, man, where they own land, they own like these little huts. Pass it down from one generation, the new generation coming out here.
Yeah.
Cashing up.
Dude, we have clients right now who just closed on their house in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And they're moving here. We're in contract.
Okay.
Right. Put them in contract this week. And the sweetest people, by the way.
Nice.
Super, super great people. But they killed it on their house.
Dang.
Killed it.
What did they end up selling it for?
1.5.
And what are they buying here?
They're buying a house here in Henderson for $989,000.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Look at
know.
that transition.
Yep.
And the cost of living here is a lot cheaper
Yeah.
than I would say a lot of places. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you don't even have that, state tax, right?
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You just save money just on that, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine you just retiring,
Yeah.
right? You're retiring, you're coming out here, this is your primary residence. State income tax, you don't even have to pay for that. Dude, you're set. Dude, you know how much money you're saving already?
And the property taxes too, right?
Property tax. I was going to say the same thing.
Well, no, property tax is a little bit still high because we're about 1%.
What's in Hawaii?
I think Hawaii is a lot lower than that.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think
on
it's
the
like
property tax?
Yeah, I think it's
Really?
like 0.7. Like property taxes in Hawaii is very low. But again, it depends on like what state you're in, right? Like I know like in New York, I think they're like 1.5 or something like that. Or maybe even like 2%.
It is. I think it's like 2%.
Well,
Yeah,
compare it to California. What's California?
California's pretty high too, dude.
Yeah. I mean, because I remember I do deals with people in
1.2, I
California,
think it was.
and they got houses that they currently live in. Like, so you got to get insurance, the mortgage statement. Dude, you look at some of their taxes on their property. It's like some of them's higher than mortgages here. You know, I'm serious. Like $2,000 in taxes, and it's like, you know, I can see why you're moving here. I would probably sell that house immediately if I could work from home, you know, or something. But I don't know. Taxes are crazy over there. So
Why do we have a dead silence? What's going on here, Dan? Keep the show going.
okay.
Keep it going, Daniel.
Yeah, I know. I'm pulling up data. Come
Let's
on.
go, French fry.
So French fry.
French fries.
What was I going to say? Yeah, French fry. That's a good one, man. I'm going to start using that for marketing.
French fry.
Yeah.
Call us today. French fries. That's right.
Call the flying French fry for rates today.
Call us French fries. Get your loans today. Call us French fries. I'm trying to pull some data
Rates are
with
coming
census here.
coming out like hotcakes. No, but I think you look at the market right now, and I think we're at like what 1 month supply. Is that right? I mean, like inventory, 1 month supply,
it's around.
and our days on the market's what 7. So that seemed like it hasn't changed though, even though that seems like inventory's creeped up a little bit, right? So inventory's higher, just a tad, right?
I mean, barely. It just depends on which price point you're looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's across the board. That's a huge sweep over. You know,
So if you took an analysis of condos, townhomes, single family residence, overall that's slowly increasing, or is it just depends on the sector you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's more just a sector.
Single family residence, what would you
Single-family.
say are on the market right now, roughly?
How many?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see the numbers today?
Oh, no.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I didn't even pull it up. I'm looking at some other data.
Last time I checked, it was 3,700. So that's and before that, I think it was like 3,200 or 30. And it's like, okay, well, that's still 400 or 500 homes. And that's, I think as people get back to work, things start to kind of settle down. I mean, you got to realize too, there's all types of benefits for people right now.
Yeah.
You know, and so there's no encouragement to go back to work. And so I think when people start to do that, now they're back to work, they may have more options to move, list their home.
Yeah. New home sales started to cool down this month.
Yeah.
But
because you can't even get into a home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a problem.
And that's the funny thing, because the report came out and it was like the new homes. It was actually 1,000. What is it? 1,000.
So what is it?
1,000 homes or such. It's actually 1,000.
Is it
85 homes in May were
Yeah.
sold. New homes in March, it was 1,560 homes. But the prices keep going up. Inventory is slowing because there's a lot of homes on pause right now.
Yeah.
I did a new home orientation in North Las Vegas, and there was about 10 or 11 homes on this one street, and the superintendent said all of them are paused right now. We can't get windows.
Dude, that's crazy. What is that, KB Homes?
I know, Lennar.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Is it waiting period 90 days for somebody to get into contract now? Like, what is that waiting period? Is it for everybody across the board, or can you walk into a specific builder and they're like, hey, couple weeks, we'll have you ready?
Yeah, it's not like that. I mean, you can get on the waiting list. Like I had a client that was on the waiting list for about, let's say like 3 weeks or so. There was a fallout cancellation. She was able to get in, right? But that's
a rare case, right?
Very rare case, right? So, but everybody else, like typically you're getting pre-approved, you're getting on the list. Sometimes you're, 10th on the list for that specific floor plan, because it can be floor plan specific for wait list.
Right.
The more popular the plan, the longer the list, right? So it just really depends on where you're at and which location. So now the north side of town, Las Vegas, is booming. It's boomtown right now, right?
Sure.
Lower price per square foot, about $187 a square foot right now. But everybody is catching wind of that, and they're moving in that direction. So now North Las Vegas is on a longer wait time. So
now, whenever you guys got some free time, I want you guys to go ahead and visit lvhomeexperts.com. It is a great website. Go ahead and check that out. Also, we are also pre-recording all this audio for a podcast that we are putting out too as well. So we are collecting a lot of what is this? A radio show? Podcast radio show? I mean, I don't even know what this is at this point.
I would just call it a podcast.
Yeah, I guess it's a video podcast.
It's a streaming podcast.
Yeah, streaming podcast, whatever it is. But let's get right into this data right here. I just wanted to pull this up really quickly. So for the last 7 days right here, currently active right now, currently on the market for single family residence detached, we currently have 2,684 properties that are currently available. The median list price for a resale home is $498,250 at $229 a square foot with an average days on the market 18 days. What do you get? 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. But most importantly, let's take a look at the data. For solds, if we take a look at the solds, the median list price was at $399. The actual closing now is $401,500. The last time we did a podcast was actually at $397,500. As you can see, this thing is going up. And it was originally at $212 a square foot. Now we are sitting at $217 a square foot at 7 days on the market for an average 1923 square feet, 3 bedrooms and 3 baths. Now, overall, right, let's take a look at this. Overall, we have a total, right, between the sales and the the sales and the active. So it's 800 within the last 7 days. So we have less than about a month's supply, this tells us. That is insane.
Wow.
That means the market keeps going up and up. Like, how do you keep with this? I mean, if you are a buyer in today's market, like, I would be frustrated. Mm-hmm. Like, how do I get a home? Mm-hmm. Where do I start? Based upon what's going on, I barely got any money, right? I can't really go FHA because nobody's really accepting FHA loans. Mm-hmm. I know I got to go conventional, right? So that way, that alleviates the problem when it comes to the appraisal issues, right? But then what happens if I just don't have that kind of money? Are there programs out there?
Yeah.
And if they are programs out there, what type of programs are out there? And Joey, if somebody did have that type of program, what's the chances of them getting their offer accepted? So let's start off with the programs. Explain what programs are out there if somebody just doesn't have enough money.
Well, I mean, you look at where does it actually cap out at, and also too, like, how much of a home can you afford? The problem is that a lot of those are debt ratio restricted. Those programs, the first-time home buyer programs, is what he's insinuating. A lot of them are income restricted.
Okay.
So you're limited, and I think anytime you're coming into a market like this, it doesn't favor people that are limited. I hate to say that. If you got no money, guess what? Are you going to be able to come above price?
No.
Right? So you're stuck. And you know, it's great. You can get approved. That doesn't mean you're going to get your offer accepted. So I'm seeing a decline in the amount of people that are looking for new home, primary, first-time home buyer programs.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am. So, you look at the big picture too, and it's like, well, when you look at how much they're getting for these homes and like as far as what they're going to be able to get approved for, some of those homes that they're trying to buy, 500, 600, 700,000, those programs don't go up to that high. So now you're like stuck. You're in that 400 range, and you just said 400. They're starting out 15, sometimes 20 above price, right? Yeah. So they're stuck, man. There ain't nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So let's just say if you were able to get somebody approved at that 400 benchmark, right? We send them on over to Joey. What do you do, Joey? Do you just turn them down?
No. You know me. I don't turn anybody down. I work with everybody. I do the best I can. It really just becomes, a hunt, man.
It does.
It does. Like, you have to find the right property in the right location. Yeah. You have to be the first one to the listing. relationship with the listing agent's always key. And really just, I mean, telling the story too. Cause I mean, if you like, every situation is different. And I have had clients that I've listed their properties and I've told them, hey, look, you know what, this person was actually first. This is our first offer. This is kind of like the backstory. Yeah. And kind of, rather than just submitting the offers, you know, and letting them decide, kind of like if you have a story that goes along with it, you know, you can tug on the heartstrings. And
does that even still work in today's market though?
It does to a certain extent.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I think you got to connect with the seller though too. Like the selling agent probably has a deaf ear to it. They're probably looking at maximum profit.
That's their always number one goal. Yeah. I mean, that's the first thing. So
yeah, but like, you know, I've been in situations to where I am like all over the listing agent, just showing her that, hey, look, I'm an active real estate agent. I know what I'm doing. This is going to be a smooth transaction. I'm not going to let anything fall through the cracks, and we're going to close on time. Like I'm serious. My buyer's serious. They're approved. We're ready to go. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. And being very persistent usually gets the job done.
Like, are you contacting the agent after you submit your offer? Or are you like pounding their door down?
100%.
Okay.
I'm texting, I'm calling, submitted the offer, sending the addendum. Inspections are scheduled like immediately.
Well, so you're running the whole deal then.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You have to. Because a lot of these agents, like you said, you know, am I calling after I submit the offer? Someone will just submit the offer and they never follow up. You don't know who it is. You don't know who the buyer is.
Well, you go back and you look at the first-time home buyers program, and, you know, I always look at it like, well, you know, it's an opportunity. So we're not going to sit here and say we're not going to roll up our sleeves and work. I'm going to do it. We've closed deals where people were a little bit more challenged. You know, you're like, hey, man, it's not a big deal or it's a harder deal. We still did it. I think with those programs, though, they take longer to close. And I think on your situation, like when you say, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to submit the offer and play that on the selling side, you really got to play it up on them as far as, you know, hey, I got a challenge situation, you know, and it's like they don't want to wait 45 days maybe. Maybe the seller's like, hey, you know what, I got nowhere to go. But, you know, a lot of people, what do they want to do? They want to get out of that house as soon as possible. They want to take the highest and best offer. So you really got to play that side of it. I just think it was challenging before. It's way more challenging now. I could.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's easy.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's
right?
hard work. Yeah.
Now, I do have some very fascinating stats for you guys, okay? So if we take a look at the financing, right, as far as closings, right, we want to know what type of buyers are out there closing. So if we look at cash buyers today for the last 7 days, based upon our closings, there were a total of 263 cash buyers, which accounts for 32% in today's market. Conventional buyers, closings, there were 432, which accounts for 52% of the buyers. FHA closed out at 79, a total of 9.5%. VA 51, which accounts for 6.1%. So now, when we look at this data, the data tells you that if you are a cash buyer in today's market, it doesn't mean that you're going to get your offer accepted because that's only 32% of the market. 52% are conventional buyers. Mm-hmm. This also tells me that a seller will accept a conventional buyer over an FHA buyer because, like you said, they probably don't have enough money. VA buyer, probably because they don't have enough money. However, the ones that do get accepted, they probably do have the money, but they want to utilize that loan program, correct?
Yep, correct.
Now, why are conventional buyers beating out cash buyers? Probably because they are submitting their offer higher and are willing to pay more money out of pocket versus a cash buyer.
Right.
And that's what this data shows you here today. So basically what this says is that, look, if you're an FHA buyer in today's market, do not be discouraged, right? You still have a plausible chance of 9.5%. Not much, but you still got a chance.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you are at 3.5% on an FHA loan, you may want to speak to your lender to make some sort of adjustment to see if we can actually roll that on over to conventional financing. Now, if we could do conventional financing at 5% down, but let's just say you were able to obtain the program for the down payment, but now you got some extra cash, you can still utilize that money to put on top of the appraisal, right? Mm-hmm. So you still can win a bid.
Yeah.
So I don't want to discourage that just because you're on this type of loan program, it doesn't mean that you still can't get a home. What it really comes down to, it's how you write up an offer, how aggressive your agent is, right? And obviously you got to get out there and you got to hit the pavement and you got to start looking at homes and write multiple offers. And that's the real way to get an offer accepted in today's market. There's no way around it, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can't be conservative.
Yeah.
You got to go for it.
All out.
All out.
Well,
go all in on every
Hey,
offer.
And I'm not, look, you can write a clean offer.
Yeah.
I think what you have to do is set up proper expectation though. Where
Right up front.
Right up front. You can't overpromise and say we're going to get into a house. I think it's like this. You got to go into it if you're a buyer like that.
Yeah.
Just say we might go through a few of these. Be ready.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not going to be easy.
That's what's great about this team. It's we set up all our clients with the expectations up front. And this is where it really comes down to education. So what we do is when we do the buyer consultation, so let me give you Joey as an example. He'll set up the buyer's consultation to come in. Hey, this is what's going on with the market. Let me take a look at your financing. This is where we need to be. This is what needs to get done in order for us to get a home. If you're not on the same page, it's going to be hard. As long as we had that communication, after a couple tries, they may want to try it their way to come to figure out this ain't working.
Yeah.
Now I'm chasing the market. Right? It's like that show, Days of Thunder. Remember when Tom Cruise?
That movie.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'll let
He's
you
the
do it your
driver.
way. Yeah. He's like, I'll let you do it your way.
He's the
Then after that, we'll do it my way.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
Smoke through the tires.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's happening to me all around town. Man.
That's funny.
Smoking the tires. I mean,
Joey goes through a pair of tires every other month.
Oh
Yeah.
my
He's
God.
you got to rotate it, bro. Rotate your tires every time you do an oil change. How much miles are you putting on that car, dude?
Dude, I don't even
At
I don't
least
even wanna
four
know, man.
or 5,000 a month. I guarantee it.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, you're doing an oil change like every month.
Oh my
Joey,
God.
how
And they're both leases.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I think I'm gonna have to park it and just let it sit there for a year, just so the mileage can catch up.
What do they call new tires? New slicks?
New slicks.
Oh, my
Some new
God.
shoes, dude.
Shoes.
Oh, damn, Joey, I see your legs are shining up on the screen right
man.
there. Dang, those look good, boy.
You put lotion on
Damn.
them too?
I lather.
I could tell, man. You got a lot of moisture in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Well,
nice.
Thanks, man.
For some of you guys don't know, Joey is a professional cyclist. Well, you've been doing this for how long?
Oh God, I don't even know, man.
20 years, huh?
Yeah, something like 12, 13 years, something like that.
Man, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
This dude's in shape, man. You could probably run forever, huh?
No, I hate running, dude.
Do you really?
I hate running. I despise it.
You know,
Dude,
that's
it's the same thing like
opposite.
cycling. You're constantly running
That's
your
opposite.
thighs. Really?
No, I like to sit down when I exercise.
Hey, is that cheating?
So when you go to the gym, you look for the bike.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, where's the bike?
That's
I'm
it.
just going to hit the legs.
Yep.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm a jogger. I can go to the gym. I'd rather go on the treadmill than to go on the bike. I don't know.
Really?
It's just boring to me. They're sitting there just, just kind
man.
of, I don't know. I just get bored.
Well, that's why you got to ride outside because you got somewhere to go.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucks about that is once you go 20 miles, you got another 20 miles to get back. Right? I learned that the hard way.
That's what I feel like when I'm running.
Yeah.
If I go outside and I jog and I'm like seeing this, like the traffic light, I'm like, dude, it's so far away. And you're running down the street.
Oh, really?
You're running down the street. You get there and you look back. You're like, oh, damn, I got to go back.
Dude, I never think about that. Like when I go jogging, I'm constantly in the zone. Like I'm just thinking about business and ideas. An hour into it, I'm like, dude, I'm here already.
It's
That's
your
cool.
downtime.
Yeah, it is, and it just works for me,
Yeah,
dude.
you're a born runner.
Yeah, I guess so.
Him and
I like
Forrest.
it.
But what I do is I always try to time myself, right? Like I know how fast I can run 6 miles.
Yeah.
And I always try to beat that time. But there's some days where I'm just like, dude, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, a lot of times with this heat,
Yeah.
even if it's like cooled down, you still like probably take your spots. Like you can't just keep going, especially if you're going like 5 or 7 miles. Like I jog for probably a good mile, stop, get some, like I'd bring a drink with me. I don't know. It's hard just to jog 5.
You have to wake up early. Like I get up at 4:45.
Damn, you get up that early, Joey?
I don't
yeah,
get
you
up
got
that early.
kids as well.
Oh,
What time
you
your kids-
have to, man. Like the heat, bro. Like you're on that bike.
I don't get up
It's
that
out.
early.
I'm on the bike by like 5:15,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what time do you go to bed?
11, 10:30, 11.
Okay. Yeah, see, I couldn't do that, man. I'm not an early riser. Like, my day starts off, like, at 9 o'clock. That's, like,
Yeah.
I'm lying. My first appointment is at 10. But here's the thing. I work a swing shift. So, you guys may be home chilling, and it's 9 o'clock. I'm still here working. You know what I'm saying? So, that
A lot
works
of
for
times,
me.
too, you go to bed at 12, 1 o'clock. Right?
I would say about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
But
A lot of
I mean, I'm
times.
constantly working on the business or coming up with
Yeah.
new ideas. You know what I'm saying? Putting stuff together. I mean, this is a hard business. It's not an easy business.
Not easy.
No, it's not. But the good news is that this is like one of the businesses that you can make really good money if you put a lot of hard work into it, right? And that's the problem, is that there's a lot of agents out here. They come into the business and they realize, like, whoa, I actually got to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't just sell a home. Oh my God, there's marketing involved. Wait, how much is marketing?
Yeah.
Right? It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? People don't really like think
No.
of like how hard this industry is.
Yeah.
No.
What is it? The average real estate agent will sell 2 to 3 homes a year.
I know. Isn't that crazy? And I think we probably close like anywhere from 10 to 15 homes a month. And we're getting anywhere from like 8 to like 13 escrows a month.
Yeah, it's good.
We're just cranking it out. And here's the thing. We are blessed, and we got to keep it going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Grind
absolutely.
it out.
But I know Joey's grinding it out. He got more escrows than I do.
Yeah.
Grind it out, Joey.
I had 12 last month.
Dude, that's crazy, dude.
Dude,
12.
I think I've had 12 all year.
No, you had 12 your whole career.
My whole career. 1 a year.
I still believe in you, Dan. Come on,
Dude,
bro.
just help me, man. Help me help you.
All right, guys, I want to get into financing. What is
All right.
going on with financing? Don't give me the same financing that we just talked about. Give me some new update on financing. What's going on?
So rates are ultimately going to continue to go up. You look at some of the application news that comes out. Mortgage applications are down, but overall they're doing really well. And so you see a strong market. You also look at what's going on with the investors. Investors are now, they're actually going on vacation at this time. This is not like a big news this whole month for investors. We're talking about people that, I wouldn't say people, we're talking about entities like insurance, big insurance companies, big corporations, maybe some countries that are investing into our treasuries, the bond market. Everything just kind of slows down a little bit. So I don't think rates are going to go anywhere anytime soon. As Joey knows, inflation's always going to be that barometer for what the Fed does, because that is a big part of what gross domestic product and how they look at the economy flowing. It just, they don't want it to go too big too fast. And so the reason we're seeing numbers right now where we saw rates decline a little bit is because the rates, and you look at the bond market, there's unemployment and employment numbers came back a little bit worse than what they anticipated. People are just not going back to work. And so we're starting to see a lot of this data come out. Also, too, the foreclosure that people are waiting for, like these foreclosures, the forbearance boom or let's say crash that people think is going to happen, it's not going to happen, people.
Yeah.
The data out there is showing that when you look at 2005, 4 and 5, when homes were coming on the market like this and they were waiting for the crash and all these things happening, that market was like this, right?
Yeah.
This market is more like this. And what does that tell you? It just tells you that it's a slow process, that there's a base that they're going to be looking at in this data with home prices are going to continue to go up, but pending sales, home sales, right? They're going to continue to keep going on this level. Everybody's looking for the crash.
Yeah.
All I know is that 1.5, when you have 360 million people in the U.S., that's not a big number, 1.5.
No. Again, it comes down to what that whole thing is.
Yeah.
The difference is when you look at something like this, back when we did have the crash versus something like this, it's a slow, gradual process. And I think people are starting to say, well, why is this happening? Well, we talk about it. They're in forbearance. They have ways that the servicers are helping them get out of the position. They're putting on extended loans. So this whole thing that you're seeing is going to be a continuous thing where stimulus has supported and helped. I don't see this forbearance crash happening. Now, if you're an investor out there and you're looking to say, well, I'm in a bad position because I have investment properties, I think those are going to be the ones that are going to have issues. But really, what is that percentage of that market?
Yeah.
Blackstone, right?
Yeah.
Then they just bought 9 million homes, right? So you have these big hedge funds that are just sitting there like this on the sideline.
And
Yeah.
if you
waiting for
Yeah.
these institutions to say, hey, you know what? Here's my portfolio. These are all the default properties. Take them.
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to hit the open market and all of a sudden there's going to be this huge crash and everyone's going to be freaking out.
Yeah.
They're going to absorb these properties. So you have these people like, well, I'm just going to wait for the properties that, the prices to correct and just sit here on the sideline and, I'll pick up a foreclosure at an auction. Psst,
That sounds
no
like me.
chance. No chance.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and you look at the treasuries, you look at the 10-year yield, but you look at, like you said, with Blackstone, if you thought the market was going to be tanking,
Why would they be buying?
Dude, what about
Anthony
Anthony Shea from the owner of Loan Depot? Just bought that $25 million house right across the street. If you think the market's going to crash, you're not buying a brand new blue heron $25 million home.
Yeah, I know. That's insane.
And that tells you right there. And I always talk about the bond market because it encompasses a lot of different factors, right? And there's commodities, and if you look at these investors, they're investing into stock market. They're investing into commodities. They're investing into other things besides the bond market. So it just tells you that the consumer confidence is still there, not even just with the average consumer, but even the big investors out there. People are still willing to put their money out. And with all these lending practices and how they're more restrictive, you can't compare that old market with the crash versus this market. So I feel like we're just going to come out of this thing and it's just going to be slowly, gradually going up still.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you don't think the market will never make a correction?
I don't think it's going to make a correction this year. I do feel that it could maybe have a correction in the next 22 or 23, year 2022 or 23, but I don't think it's going to be this year because who's involved right now? Government's involved. We're coming out of a pandemic. We have all these programs. So this is not a normal, healthy situation of a market. You look at a lot of these things and a lot of data that's coming out. A lot of these things are historic numbers and everything's great. It's just because we had such a down year last year because of the pandemic.
Now, don't you think that with this upward pressure, it's like a volcano, right? With all this pressure, you have more money being printed, right? There's a lot of people, I would say probably like 80% of our population is living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford a home, right?
Well, data's come out, though, that says this. More people have more money. There's still a lot of people that are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, more money just means inflation. That's what it means is that your wealth is being stolen from you. That's all that means, dude. Just because you got more money, it doesn't mean that things are great.
Yeah. I just feel that in the interim, we don't have what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years. I just think this year, heading into next year, the data that I'm seeing is that it's going to be that gradual uptick. It's not going to be just boom. And I don't feel like we're going to go through a forbearance, crash or any type of market crash because the data just doesn't support it. It's not the same market back in 5 and 6. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to go through a recession or regression down the road, but we don't know when that's going to happen.
But back then, it was definitely a different market because
it's a different world.
Yeah, you had stated income. You had people buying 2 or 3 homes.
But also, people were liquid poor. They had no money. They also didn't have any equity. A lot of them didn't have equity in their homes. They were buying homes way above and getting into homes when they had no money to get into the home.
So how is all this money coming out from the woodworks to buy these homes?
Because people didn't lose their job. They stayed working from home, plus the stimulus checks. So they've been saving and putting their money away. Plus, at the same time, homes have been appreciating.
Because everybody's trying to buy, so that forces it up. Man, this almost seems kind of scary.
We don't know where it's going to
I know. Hey, what happens if you close on this thing? This shit plummets. Like, no! But by then, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
I'm going to be living there, so it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
Overall, I think rates are going to go up to probably 3.5. I don't think they're going to top out too much over that, especially this year. Heading into next year.
That's going to control pricing a little bit?
It will. It's going to control the market, and it's a balancing act. We talk about it, and I think that's where we're headed.
So then we're good.
I think we're good.
Let's talk about refinancing. Are we up or down on refinancing?
Refinancing's it's not up. Actually, we're down on mortgage applications for refinancing. Now, one thing about refinancing, though, is the opportunity is still there, especially with rates coming down a little bit. And there's tons of equity. So I have tons of people, and this is not just a sales pitch. I have a lot of people looking at trying to get that equity out of that property. They have the opportunity. Money's cheap, so they're doing it.
Did you end up?
So now that could be an issue. What if everyone starts refining, pulling all the equity out of their homes? They get a higher payment. The market corrects.
I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, but I think that there's just cycles of things, and I think as you see the consumer confidence, it's all going to come down to that. Yeah. If consumer confidence is there with jobs, with people losing their job, finding out another job if they needed to, and people are willing to go out and spend their money knowing that there's going to be replacement money coming, it's going to continue to keep going.
So, Joe, you are closing your home on the 17th. Is that correct?
16th.
16th. So, basically, did you already lock in your rate?
We did.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing what you locked in at?
2.99.
2.99. Damn, son.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was close.
Oh, okay. Well, so what's the lowest you can? What are you offering right now? Like 2.1.
That is the lowest because he's got good credit, and I mean it's pretty much there. I mean, he's I think anywhere in the high twos is where you're going to be at
now.
Yeah, right now, because you got to realize that the pricing came down probably honestly right around the same time when he was starting to get into it, where it's kind of weird that we actually timed that out because it kind of came down. I feel like it's going to go back up again, but I feel that everybody right now, anywhere from probably 2.875 to 3.25, depending on.
What would you end up paying for your home?
What is it at? 670?
670. And what'd you put down on something like that?
240.
Dang, 240 on that thing.
Yeah.
So what was your bounce? Like 430?
It was like 444 or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
And what's your payment for something like that?
2,400.
Dang, that's actually a pretty good deal.
Not a bad deal.
Principal, taxes, insurance, all that? Or
No
just
mortgage insurance.
Yeah, no
mortgage insurance.
That's good. And how big was that home?
It's 3,245 square feet.
Yeah, that's a nice home, dude. Yeah. Have you seen his house?
Oh yeah,
it's pretty
I
dope.
I saw pictures. I mean, that's all I saw. I didn't go drive by and look at it. But
Oh, you didn't go look at it?
I wasn't like videoing it. Like, Joey, what you going, man? What's going on with this, bro? What you know about this, Joey?
And you did mention that home is already up in equity, right?
Yes.
What are they going for now?
I'm up 70 grand since February.
Damn, you should just sell it. Wife is like, nah,
Hey,
we ain't selling that.
Joey's a flipper now. You got to get a license plate that says flipper now.
Oh, you guys are cracking me up. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the show, to the LV Home Experts radio show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is where we talk about real estate and financing. Now, if you guys have not had a chance to subscribe to this channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. But most importantly, hit that notification button so that way you guys can get updated on brand new properties that hit the market, especially with the pocket listings that we do get. Again, don't forget to visit lvhomeexperts.com. Great website. Also, check us out on TikTok, Instagram, so that way if you guys are a fan of the show, you can see exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.